Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Today I am talking about therapy, and particularly why I have never had any. Nope, I have never sat down with anyone. Probably hard to believe with my situation, but it's true. Never had therapy. And you think after basically watching my parents die in front of me that therapy would be like like immediate next step. But no. After 10 plus years, I have yet to go to therapy, see a therapist of any kind. And I'm thinking about it. I am thinking about it, but I have not gone. Not yet. So here are some reasons why I haven't been to therapy. And at the end of the video, I'm going to reveal why I am all of a sudden considering it after all of these years. The first reason why I have never been to therapy has been my faith. My faith has really kept me grounded all these years. And me and the Lord, we close. And prayer works. At least for me it has. And I'm not even really all that religious, but I was raised Christian. And throughout my life, I've always had a very personal, spiritual relationship with God. And I've carried that with me all the time. It's kind of like I had no choice but to cling even tighter to that faith when I was going through what I was going through, plus all the after effects, and even now. And honey, the days were dark, and they still can get kind of dark. And my faith has always provided a light. Although I wasn't talking to a person physically, here on the ground, through faith and with prayer, I did a lot of the same things you do with a therapist anyway. I asked God for guidance. I cried, bawled my eyes out when the pain just was so unbearable. And I could skip the part where I had to tell my life story, and the therapist has to ask you a bunch of questions to get to know you first before you can even get to the healing, get to the advice. Because God already knew my heart and my struggles and my pain and my story, my life. And I could just get to the meat and potatoes of trying to heal me. And I always felt like I was too busy, and still sometimes feel like I'm too busy for therapy in general. Like, I used to feel like, girl, you don't have time to be sitting around and nobody chair whining when your life is crumbling around you. Okay, get up and catch all these pieces. That's what you need to be doing. And it just always felt like there was something else I needed to be giving my time to instead of therapy. Other things that I need to prioritize so that I could survive, so that I could try to thrive. And when I caught one piece of my life, tried to glue it back together with some crazy glue, here came another piece falling. And then I started to have to create new pieces as I grew into an adult. And it was like, girl, you really think you got time to sit around and talk about your feelings? So yeah, that's what I really thought. And sometimes I still think now, but I'm working on it. And the last thing I'll talk about that kept me from going to therapy was a whole lot of pride and a little bit of shame. It's hard to admit that life has shaken you just so crazily to your core that you just need help putting one foot in front of the other. And after years of, working through my faith and prayer and trying to glue my life back together to the best of my ability, create new pieces for my life, it just, a little cloud of shame and some pride tends to roll in to think about admitting to still being weak and unsure in some parts of my life when I've just scratched and climbed and clawed so hard to rise from the ashes of what I've been through. As promised, it's the end of the video. This is a quick one, but I'm gonna tell you why I'm seriously considering seeking out a therapist now, after all this time. And the way I've been looking at it, that's allowed me to be more open to the idea, is that I'm looking at it like having a driving instructor. Hear me out. For a lot of people, when they learn to drive, they go to driving school. And you have a driving instructor that sits with you and, takes you on the road. And now we've already read the learner's manual, so we know how the road works and which lanes you should cross and not, and how to crank the car, when to check your mirrors, right? You have the foundation already ready to go, but the driving instructor is sitting with you and taking you out there when you're in the thick of it to give you a little bit of a play-by-play right? And they can say, oh, if you see somebody going really fast and swerving through traffic, be a defensive driver and do this, start to move over, or do this or do that. And so I look at therapy as like having a driving instructor in the passenger seat sometimes to help me with my play-by-plays when it comes to my grief journey. And I can say, hey, the other day, this happened and I froze, or this happened and I wasn't really sure how to respond. And they can go like, oh, this is common. XYZ, try these things. And so my therapist can be like my grief driving instructor to add an additional layer to the really great foundation I've already worked really hard to create for myself through prayer and faith and just being resilient all of these years. And they can just be my little driving instructor, my grief driving instructor a little bit. And it's really helped me be more open to it. And I think it'll be an asset. And I'm looking forward to giving it a try. So now I just have to find one. So if you have any suggestions of therapy programs or therapists that you really like or have heard of, feel free to put those in the comments below and I will check them out. All right, y'all. So that is why I have not been to therapy yet, but I am seriously considering it. And, you know, going to therapy and rushing off and finding a therapist is something that is very pushed in our society. And I think it's sometimes good to understand how therapy is going to really fit into your life first. And if there are other positive things that have been helping you stay grounded and getting you through, and in time you find therapy to be something that's going to be an asset and actually be helpful and integrate into your life, then that's great. So however you're deciding to get through and however you're healing yourself, just do what's best for you. As always, thank y'all so much for watching. I believe in you, I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. All right, be good.